Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is for trading on November 26, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So not a whole lot today. There were comments that even though US and China are having some disagreements, but they are still committed to actually kind of getting past this or signing the phase one trade agreement. So this was good. And we saw that all the yen crosses went up and equities went up. So we'll take a look at the charts in just a moment. And then we also have had this news here that the USMCA, so Mexico, which used to be the NAFTA, Mexico, Canada, and the US trade agreement is also within range here. So all of that is considered positive for the equity markets and for the yen crosses. So we saw yen crosses go up as a result. So it just created positive sentiment for the market here. Now coming up tomorrow, actually in that regard, there are tariffs that are supposed to go in on December the 15th, sorry. And it would be, I think China would want to make sure that those tariffs don't go into place. And that's why we may see more positivity in regards to the trade agreements and so forth. So just keep that in mind there. Other than that, coming up here on Tuesday, we have RBA Governor Lau speaking here. Anytime we have central bankers speaking, it is very important. And overall here, they haven't been quite bullish. But in case the language changes or the comments that come out of Reserve Bank of Australia, if they kind of lean more towards the positive, then we could see Australian dollar Australian dollar go up. But if they talk about or express concern about trade deal, or they express concerns about economy, whether that's world economy or Australian economy, we could see Australian dollar go down. So at this point, I don't really expect any changes. It would just be more about the comments that would drive the market sentiment. And then we also have the trade balance numbers here for the US. In the US session, we have consumer confidence number. This is a very important number. And if the number comes in below forecast here, that will be negative for the US dollar. We also have FOMC members speaking here. Again, just the comments can create a change in the market here, or just not change in the market, but just, price reaction. This week, there will be low liquidity because of Thanksgiving in the US. So a lot of people will take time off. So traders will be away from their desks. So expect low liquidity conditions in the market. We also have Reserve Bank of New Zealand tomorrow. So any comments here, they were a little bit more positive last time than the market had expected. As a result of that, we had seen New Zealand dollar go up. So that was a surprise to the market because everybody was expecting an interest rate cut. So if we see a similar leaning towards more bullishness here, then we could see New Zealand dollar go up as a result. But again, it will all come down to the comments. And then we have construction numbers here for Australia. Overall, not too crazy, just two central banks that we'll have to keep in mind, Australia and New Zealand here. So let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off, as usual, with our euro here. So with euro, we see we do have a this one is a little bit bearish, but it shows that there may be a little bit concern here as well. It's starting to tend to go more towards neutral. So we need to be mindful of that. So right now, bias is bearish, but just be careful. because we are coming into support. So we have support right where the price ended up today, 1.1020. But for now, bias is bearish. I will look for a move towards 1.0980. And if it stays above, then I will look for a move higher. Now, another thing that I mentioned here was if it doesn't break today's low, then it could turn there as well. So actually it's 1.10. So either 1.10 or 1.0980. So we are right into support. So just keep that in mind. Bias is bearish, but with caution here. Next, let's take a look at pound dollar here. Pound dollar was had quite a move to the upside today, or just pound in general. Now, with the UK elections coming up, pound is moved by the poll results. So we'll see more and more of that leading up to the elections. So as we see poll results that support an orderly Brexit or something just positive overall, or no Brexit at all, those type of things will be positive for British pound, like we saw today. Today's polls were showing a majority conservative government. So overall, that's a good scenario when one party is in the majorities, but that means they can make the decisions and make things happen. So that was seen as positive from the markets. So we saw that British pound went up as a result. Now it is into resistance. So we have a bullish candle close, but it is into resistance. It's looking quite strong though. So bias is bullish. This one could go higher. What we need to see here is a move through that level and then to the other side. So bullish bias here, looking for price to go towards the top of the range here, 1.2990. Now, having said that, if it doesn't break today's high, it can come back down though. So that's something to keep in mind. Overall though, bias is bullish. So Australian dollar here, this one, we have a nice bearish candle close here, but watch out for US dollar turning, and also in this case, the Reserve Bank of Australia. So overall bias is still to the downside, but as we can see, price is right into support, and this is where it had pulled back up. So if it doesn't get through 0.6770, then we could see price turn back, and then it could go, this is the range that it has been trading in for the last little bit here. It could turn around and go back. So that's something to keep in mind. But for now, it is a bearish bias. So for the bearishness to continue, we do need to see a break below here and then a move to the downside. So this one, I would say bearish bias, but again, with caution. If it doesn't break through the support, very likely the price is going to go higher towards 0.6830. So for now, the first target is 0.6720, but it doesn't break through. We're looking for it to go higher. So bearish bias here. New Zealand dollar. So New Zealand dollar here, this one is neutral for today. We have a neutral candle close here, spinning top. It's hasn't really done a whole lot. It just went up a little bit and then dropped. So very, very small move for the day. So overall bias is neutral. What I would look for here would be a reaction to the high of the range here. If price goes into 0.6440, so as long as it stays below that level, I will look for a drop here. So bias here is neutral, but as long as it stays below this range high, I'm looking for price to come back down. In this case, the first target would be the middle of the range, and then second target is the bottom of the range. So first target is 0.6380, second target 0.6320. So bias is neutral here. So if it goes through the high here, if it goes through the resistance here though, we're likely to see it go all the way up. So watch out for that. For now, bias is neutral, and I'm looking for a move back in towards the middle of the range. Dollar CAD here, dollar CAD is also neutral. We see pins into this level here. Price wasn't really able to break through this level. So neutral bias for this one as well. I will look for a reaction off of the same level again. If the price stays below 1.3320, then we're looking for price to come back into the range here, and I will look for a move towards 1.3270 or even 1.3260. Should it break through though, then we have this entire room here for it to go higher. So 1.3380 becomes the next target then. Overall though, it is trending upwards. We are seeing price make higher lows. So it shows that price is trending upward, so it can break through this level and go to the next level. So just keep that in mind. But for now, bias is neutral for dollar CAD. Let's move on to our commodities here. Silver first. Silver looks bearish here with the positive comments in regards to US and China. All the positive comments with the trade agreements are actually negative for all the safe haven assets, and we see safe haven assets drop as a result of that. So yen drops and yen crosses go up. We see gold, silver drops as a result of that as well. Swiss franc goes down, so Swiss crosses go up. And this is what we saw on the Forex side. So with our commodities here, silver's looking kind of weak. Price went into the high of the range. Now looking for price to come back towards the bottom of the range here. 16 point, let me just go all the way down here. 16.62 is the next target here. If it goes through that, we have 16.36 below that. So bias is bearish for silver. Same thing with gold here. All that positive talk about trade agreement being signed is negative for gold. So we have seen a drop. 1446 is the first target back, or 1445 back into our pen here. This is where price had turned before. So overall bias has been bearish here. So we saw a drop, pull back, and now looking for that move lower here. So bearish bias for gold. 1445 first target, then 1434 is the second target. Oil here. Oil has not really done a whole lot. It's trading sideways at the moment. We have a neutral candle close here. So bias is neutral. We'll have to see which direction it wants to go. If it holds above today's low though, it can push higher here. So this one as well has slowly, very slowly been making higher lows. So it does have that a bit of a trend to the upside here. But again, I would be cautious. At this point, I would look for a move higher towards 58.70. But if it holds above, then we could see a drop there as well. So bias is neutral though, based on the daily candle close. It can go in either direction here. Copper. Copper, we have a doji here. Price rejected the high of the range. So again, this has also been trading in a range all this time. So several days, over a week here, it's been stuck in this range, went and tested the high of the range, dropped. So basically I'm looking for a move lower towards the bottom of the range at 2.56. So slightly bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin made the move lower, and now it's pulled back, but see how price is holding below this support resistance level. So as long as it holds below 73.30, we could get another leg lower. So today's candle close is neutral here. And should it go to the other side, then we could get the move higher. But for now, this is still looking bearish. Overall, it's been bearish. Price dropped, pulled back, and then this is the move that I would expect. So bias is neutral, but overall bias still remains to the downside. And the target here, first target would be 67.70, and then second target is 61.60. So neutral bias, neutral to bearish bias here for Bitcoin. Equity markets are doing great. We have this huge move to the upside here. It gapped up actually. So there's a lot of positive sentiment in the market right now. So bias is bullish. It's right into the resistance, but it has already crossed it to the upside here. That shows that there's a lot of positive momentum there to the upside. So bias is bullish here. Next target is 3150 and then 3180. So bullish bias here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, same thing, a big move to the upside here today. A lot of bullish sentiment again, and target is to the upside. 8450 or 8500 is the next target here. Now, sometimes what can happen is it is pushing into the high right now, but if it turns around and comes back into the range, that would be the only caution that I would suggest, because sometimes price will look like it's really wanting to move through a certain level, and then it just pulls back right when we think it's going to go through. So just keep an eye on that, because market is at all-time highs. So any kind of negative comments out of the US and China trade deal can turn things around, but right now it is looking bullish. So next target is 8450. So bullish bias here for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones also looking bullish here. It is pushing into the highs right now. So at this point it is bullish. Now it has to go on the other side here for this one to continue, but looking bullish. We are looking for this type of a move. If it holds above 28,100, then chances are very high that it would go higher. Next target is 28,500. So bullish bias here for Dow Jones as well. DAX here also looking bullish. It is still stuck in that range though. So next target would be 13,300, and if it goes through that, 13,370. So bias is bullish here for DAX as well, but just be mindful of the range. If it doesn't go through the high of the range, it can turn back down as well. For now, it is bullish. FTSE here also looking quite bullish, a big move to the upside here. Bias is bullish. Next target here is 7440. So bullish bias for FTSE. Nikkei here pushing higher again today. We did have a bullish candle close. So I would look for price to go towards 23,600 level here. But just be cautious, because we are into the high at that point and price could turn around. So this is the range it's been trading in. So we could see one of these moves because it is top of the range. So for now, bias is bullish. This is the range it's been trading in. That was just a test. So for now, bias is bullish. Target is 23,650. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.